right, week 2 is in the books for my training for the Yamacraw 50, my very first ultra marathon. And we're going to go through the long run. We're going to go through a different kind of workout that I did this week that I don't normally do, but I know I need to. And then a few little extra pieces of fitness nuggets along the way. I'm starting to really get a grasp of just how much training and how much time is going to go into this process. My long runs are getting longer, and they're kind of lonely. In fact, I forgot a key piece of equipment on this week's long run, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'm going to head out to the trail right now so you can join me and see what I missed and exactly how many miles was my long run this week. All right, well, I just parked and I'm here at Rockwoods Reservation, gonna do my long run today, and already I've had a significant failure. Make sure I got everything out of the truck. Let me show you, maybe you can guess what the problem is here. Here's my kit for today. My level 1 bar for post-run protein. Got my Enduraformance here. Key for the truck. I got my waist belt there, phone, gloves, headband, plate carrier. What's missing? My earbuds. I downloaded like 2 or 3 good podcasts and I've got nothing to listen to them with. Not a huge deal, but also not ideal by any stretch. So I guess I get to hear the sound of my footsteps and breathing the whole 13 plus miles. And that's the other thing. I don't know what I'm going to do. Definitely got to be 13.1. I'm going to try to shoot for 15. We'll see if we can knock 15 out today. Okay, with the inclusion of my hydration belt, it's just one more thing that could potentially cause friction. So earlier I had to stop and strap down the plate carrier a little tighter. Too much oscillation. I'm also kind of being mindful about how this belt is feeling on me. Because, you know, like, you set the tone for the run early on. You start getting a little hot spot early, it's not gonna get better. You gotta take care of it right off the bat, not let it go, not whistle in the dark. So far it feels okay, but it's not a given it's gonna stay that way. So I just gotta be mindful about how it feels. Well, just about 5 miles in, all systems nominal, lack of earbuds. I really haven't missed them that much. Kind of nice. Time for a little reset here. Like I said earlier, you can't just, if you get hot spots forming, you can't just assume that they're gonna magically go away the longer you go. The reality is they're just gonna get worse. And I've got a couple forming my lumbar area. My little love handles. I got layers on layers here. I hate stopping. I hate breaking momentum, but I hate even more ending up with real bad chafing injuries. So, we'll suit up like this, see how it goes. Just over 9 miles in, made a little additional change to my water belt, hydration belt, strapped it around my plate carrier here. Zero friction on the lumbar area.
It's my happy place. All right, I just clocked over 14 miles, so I guess we're doing 15 today. It is so helpful to have something to look forward to back at your vehicle. I got that chocolate peanut butter pretzel level 1 bar that is just calling my name. Carbs, fat, protein. I get a great ratio for what I need to recover. And man, it sure does put a little pep in my step knowing I get to go back and refuel on that right off the bat. Refueling is so important. You got like such a tight window, about a 20-minute window after your effort to really refuel your muscles, hit your joints, so they can repair themselves. So that's where endurance comes into play. Helps you keep hydrated, keep your electrolytes up, keep your amino acids up during the effort so you don't get so depleted, so it's not such a big deficit at the end. Oh, nice to have something tasty for a little mental boost. Keep it going. 15 miles in the books. I survived. Feeling good. Awful hungry. Ready to eat. That is this week's long run. So back to Tim there in the studio.
I survived 15 miles with an extra 20 pounds on me. I actually felt pretty good. I started to feel a little cramping on the insides of my legs, but overall, I felt like I had a few more miles if I needed to. So I attribute that to good nutrition and keeping a decent base of miles through the year. This coming week, I'm not sure what my mileage is going to be. I'd kind of like to push it to 20, but I'm a little cautious about doing that so early. I don't want to peak real early in the training and then have to keep up with all that. And that's the other thing is, you know, we don't train, we don't live in a vacuum. I'm not just an ultra marathoner. I have a wife, I have kids, I have responsibilities at church, I have a job that I love in the hunting industry. I got a lot of things going on. And in fact, this past week, we had a funeral service for my Aunt Karen, who was my dad's sister. I loved her dearly. She was just an incredible woman. And so we had to travel back up to north central Illinois for her services. And that knocked a day out of my training schedule, but it was so nice to be able to catch up with family and just memorialize her and honor her memory. But, you know, a lot of us, we have other things going in our lives, and this training has to fit in to everything else that's happening. So just a kind of a reality check that we're not just one-dimensional creatures focus on one thing. We got other things in life that we need to balance out, and obviously family is super important. Okay, so earlier in this episode, I mentioned the fact that I did a little bit of exercising this week that I don't normally do. Well, it's foam rolling. I don't do foam rolling usually. And I do have tight spots, and I do have points in my body that are not as flexible as they should be. So I took some time, and I did a little foam rolling this week, and I filmed some of it so you could kind of enjoy it. Maybe. How about something that I'm not really good at and I don't really do much of, and that is foam rolling. So this is something that I need to do more of, break up all the adhesions and stuff in my muscles. I don't like to do it. I'm a typical guy because guys like to build muscle mass, and I know though that if I attempt Yamacraw without making sure my muscles are flexible and able to deal with the rigors of all the miles I'm going to be putting on, it's just not going to work. I'm going to end up injured. So it's foam roller day. I'm going to spend some time with it. Join me. Watch me struggle through this foam rolling session. that was just about an hour's worth of foam rolling, and I feel like I'm beat up. And I guess the point is you want to stick to the parts of your body that feel the most uncomfortable when you're hitting it with the roller. It's almost like there's a bruise there, because that means that there's probably more adhesions there that you need to break up. Painful, I feel like I've been through the ringer, but that's kind of the point. And hopefully the more I do of this, the less it will hurt, the less adhesions I'll have. So, foam rolling session number 1 in the books for Yamacraw 2022. Well, it felt as good as it hurt. And I think that's really the key with foam rolling. It's not something that really helps you with gains, but it does help keep you strong, keep you flexible, and ultimately uninjured. And that's one of my main goals here for this ultra marathon, is to show up on race day uninjured with a good base of miles underneath me. So, foam rolling, I highly suggest it. Definitely make time for it. You know, I got a few extra workouts in at the gym, did some stuff here at the house. I also put in a couple 8-mile runs, so my mileage was right around like that 30, 31 mile marker, which isn't bad for just 3 runs, given I had a day out that I couldn't do anything. So that's really kind of what's been going on this past week, week 2, workouts, nutrition, and making sure that I'm getting my long runs in and making time for family in the process. Kind of makes me a little trepidatious about what's going to happen during turkey season when that rolls around, because my weekends are going to be eaten up. But we'll have to wait until later in the season to see just what that looks like and how I'm able to manage. But I do really want to make sure I show up on race day ready to roll. Well, week 2 is finally in the books. Thanks for joining me on this experience. Week 3, who knows what the long run's going to be? Who knows what I'll run into? Will I remain uninjured? Stay tuned to find out. But the other thing is, if you want to partner with me on this project and be a part of my very first ultra marathon, you can just hit the Venmo link down below and you can help fund this experience, whether it's helping to offset the cost of registration or training or the travel to get down there or even the nutrition. Feel free to click that little Venmo and send me whatever, and we can set up some type of shout out in the next episode to make sure that you get a little bit of recognition for being a part of the team. So that'll do it for this week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you're having some good training, and hopefully you are staying strong, healthy, and ready to roll.